Hi everybody, just a quick update of where I'm up to. Thought I'd do a quick video just to let you all know there's someone walking right near my car. I just dropped the little one off to the cinema. She's there with brownies watching some new Disney film, so I'm just in car park at the minute. Yeah, a little bit of an update. I'm not talking about the haircut. I am now doing my training for the Class 2 with Ben Shaw in Burnley. So far so good, great team, you know, very welcoming. I had a guy called William yesterday, which was Friday, and basically what they're doing now is, because everything's sort of split up and you've got your module 3A, which is your reversing manoeuvre. What they're doing at Ben Shaw is, on that first day, rather than doing a 4-hour assessment, they're doing an 8-hour day. So you've still got your 4-hour sort of assessment drive, and I was doubled up with another driver, which was alright actually, because when it came to his drive it was getting a bit darker and it was around school time, and I could sort of sit there and see how we sort of dealt with situations. Yeah, side note actually, while we was driving around, they were filming Brassic, and the instructor wanted to sneak down and have a look. Now it was down a little side street, so obviously my test there was to get it through a little 20-mile-an-hour double parked side street with all this production going on. We didn't see anyone. We were hoping to see Michelle Keegan, but it didn't happen. Yeah, so yesterday basically consisted of, I got there at just before 8 in the morning, and then straight away we were practicing our reversing manoeuvre. If you're worried about this, don't worry about it, honestly. There's so many, I said there's so many, there's about 5 or 6 points within the manoeuvre that you sort of helped with, you get the tips to do, and as you're doing the actual test, just follow that. It's not that hard. The hardest part I found was getting as tight up and in the right position to that top A cone before you start moving backwards, because if you get in the wrong position, you sort of already give yourself a tighter angle to put your full lock on and not go over the curb line. But yeah, you get nice and tight up to that A cone, you full lock but not dry steer, so really slow, reverse back, and then you've got a mirror above your wing mirrors that'll point down to this wheel on the driver's side, or the off side, and you just concentrate on that tyre. Make sure that tyre's not going over that yellow line while feeding your steering wheel back from full lock, keeping it straight, and then just quick look over to the left or another look in your mirrors, and then all of a sudden in your left mirror you'll see that last cone pop up, and that's when you can guide it in. Once you've got, if you pulled up as perfect as you can, and you've got that little bit of the reversing so you don't go over the curb line or the fail line, you are pretty much plain sailing. Don't worry about getting into that box with the hatchings, because there is always a little marker that they clip onto the vehicle. You can see it and they'll show you straight away. You just make sure you get that, you'll practice it loads of times, into where it should be, and your back end will be where it should be, and you'll do it every time, because you'll know where you're dropping that little marker. So we practiced it for about an hour between us, and then they had an on-site assessor called Andrea, who's really lovely. She came out and took your driving license information, and then talks you through the manoeuvre, and then she goes and stands up at that A cone, checks you're alright with where your position is when you've pulled up to the A cone. I just said yeah, because I knew I hadn't gone through it and I could see where I were. And then she says, right, begin your reversing. You get 2 shunts, so if you mess it up, you can go forward twice, and when you get into the box, you can get out and look to see where you are. If you're not fully over the black line, get back in the cab and inch it back. But like I say, you should nail it every time, because the marker that they clip onto the vehicle is, you know, yeah, it's perfect for where the back end of the vehicle should be. And then, yeah, with me yesterday and with the guy I was with, nice lad called Carl, we both passed it, no problems. And then she gives you a little certificate, gets you to sign something. So you've done your 3A, that's done, it's out the way. This is how Ben Shaw do it. They only do this first day with another person, with another driver. They've all just started doing it. They said it was like a guinea pig thing for us. But it works out to your advantage, because you can, it settles your nerves for a start, because the other dude's nervous. And you're both sort of looking at each other thinking, when you're nailing this, and he's like, you're nailing it. So, you know, it helps you with your nerves. So that was done, went for a little break. And then what Ben Shaw do is, once you've signed up and you've got everything with them, they'll send you a video of the Mod 4, the CPC stuff. And it's basically the assessor asking, it was Ben in the video, the questions, and he's doing the answers, he's showing you around. So, yeah, if the place you're going with does that, utilise it. I watched it 2 or 3 times a day. And the early afternoon, around lunchtime, we started training for it. So they go through it again. William went through it again with us, straight around. And I just had Ben's voice in my head from the video, so it worked. I was answering him pretty much exactly how he does in the video. So yeah, I was asked a question, the other lad was asked a question, I was asked a question, the other lad was asked for about an hour. And then Andrea came out, I went first. I got asked, the first one was, how would I check the weights of my load, and if the vehicle was overloaded. And that one is basically your paperwork, your VTG6 plate, which is in the cab, and that shows you all the weights and dimensions and lengths and stuff. But you don't have to go through the weights with them, you just have to say, I would check that VTG6 plate, point to it. And then any sort of tyre issues that would show it was overloaded, like bulging. And then if you're still unsure, take it to a weighbridge. My second one was, I've left the vehicle unattended at customs or something. It was the one where you sort of check for any sort of contraband that's been left, or any stowaways. You go through everything in the truck that's got cabinets, that's got holes, or anything in the door, under the seat, behind the seat, everything. You go to the front of the vehicle, you have a look under the bonnet to see any of the bits in there. You don't have to touch anything. In fact, I went to open the bonnet and she went, you don't need to open the bonnet, just tell me that you'd look in the bonnet. You look under all the wheel arches, you look behind the cab, in between the small gap between the cab and the trailer, in there under the wind deflector. Any sort of pocket of space you can see in the fuel cap, you look in there. And then you go to the back of the vehicle, you look down the side of the load, you look up into the fiberglass roof to see the outlining, and then you get round to the other side and you just repeat what you did on that side. So I did that. Then there was one about, I have a small engine fire, what would I do? It's just pull over to the hard shoulder as soon as possible, put your hazard lights on, isolate the battery and the engine, and turn your engine off, and call for the emergency services. And then you get asked what fire extinguisher you use. So you wouldn't use water, obviously, because it's an electrical fire, and you wouldn't use foam. I don't know the reason you wouldn't use foam. So it is powder or CO2. You get taught all this, and if the place you're with is a nice reputable place, then they'll have sent you the details anyway. And then I had the big question, which is you've come up to this vehicle, it's a new vehicle, show me your daily checks, safety checks that you would do. And that is where you literally go around the whole vehicle. You do your cockpit check, you make sure your seat's adjusted, your mirrors, you're in neutral, your handbrake, and then you point out your height marker, your VTG6 plate. And then you turn your ignition on, check all your lights and everything go out, check your horn, check your wipers and your spray suppression. Spray equipment, not your suppression, that's outside. Turn the engine on, check for excessive black smoke. Turn the engine off, put the ignition back on, and all your lights your hazards, everything, and then you do your walk round check outside. So you're looking at your lights, you're looking at all your wheels. You have to make sure that you mention the tread depth and any sort of condition of the wheel and the wheel nuts on all the wheels. And then the back, you do the lights again. And then there's little bits where you've got to say you'd listen for air leaks, or you'd reverse up against a wall, something reflective for your brake lights and stuff like that. Really easy, and I'll tell you why. That if you forget anything, then at the end of your walk round, grab your checklist, which is you'll be given a checklist, and go through it. And if you come up against anything that you didn't mention, go and do it. Now, I did mine, and I kept forgetting me horn and my wipers on my little practice with William. So I was like, I'm not going to remember this. I'm not going to remember it. But I've got my checklist, so it's fine. I did it. I did it all. Did it everything while I was doing the walk round. And as I was saying, I would reverse up to something reflective. She went, right, no worries, let's come in. I got 100%. I didn't even need my checklist in the end. But you can use it, so don't worry about that. Module 4 is dead easy. If you've been given a video, or there's videos on YouTube, watch them as much as you can, and then just rely on your trainer just to show you what questions are going to be asked. You'll get it done within about 10-15 minutes. So yeah, that was me yesterday. Friday was my reversing exercise, which I passed, and my module 4, which I passed. So now I've got the weekend to chill, and then I'm going to go on Monday and Tuesday. I've got a full day's driving Monday, and then I've got a full morning's drive, and then my test is at 1 on the Tuesday in Bolton. I think it's Steeton or Atherton. Steeton, yeah, one of those two, over in Bolton. So yeah, so my next video is going to be, you'll know where I got to. So yeah, thanks for watching, and like I say, don't worry about a thing, honestly. That first day, you'll get through it, and then you can focus on your driving test. All right, take care, everybody.